Shout out Super Thai Woody with the DJ set from today's Rose Parade. Amazing. That might
So good.
Might just become our new intro music, to be honest with you.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad about it.
We would get, I would say, 3x fewer copyright takedown notices on YouTube if we did that. Well, there's only 2 minutes left where we can do this, so we better do this quickly. Happy birthday, Mr. Brennan.
Hey, happy birthday,
Thank
Brennan.
you.
Although I think you're like in a central time zone, so you got some time, right? But
No, we got 2 minutes to celebrate still.
oh, you are Eastern.
Yeah.
Okay.
You are Eastern, yeah.
Okay, good. Well, happy birthday. I hope you had an awesome day. And so glad to have you guys here from Esports to talk about Prop 198. I don't see Action Slacks here. I'm not sure if you could maybe send him a quick message with the link in case.
Yeah.
If you could do that.
I just need him again. Yeah, he should.
And Lil Nouns just gave us an extension on how much time we have before we have to play FOMO. So
Awesome.
Works out great. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Little Nouns. All right. So if you're just joining us here, this is Noun O'Clock Live. This is a space that we do every single day at the end of the NounsDAO auction. And that moves a little bit every day, which makes our job really interesting and fun. So today it's at midnight EST, but when we started this, it was at like 6 p.m. EST, and we've already been all the way around the 24-hour clock once. So that's what we do here. We watch the end of the auction. We're kind of crazy. Currently, we're looking at noun 564, which is a rosebud. And we chose that noun specifically, and I'll explain how in a minute. But we chose that noun specifically because Nouns was in the Rose Parade this morning in Pasadena, California. Shout out Stupid Buddy, makers of Robot Chicken, who are making a documentary all about nouns. And they did an amazing job organizing a float all about nouns. And it was really, really cool to see. If you missed it, it's on our YouTube. I'm going to pin it above. You can see the entire parade go by. You can see Seth Green, who's one of the founders of Stupid Buddy, and of course a very popular actor and director as well in his own right. He did like an interview basically all about nouns for like 3 minutes on national television. It was really, really cool to see. Robot Fish Girl here did a really nice supercut of that interview. And the parade itself, just the part that we cared about the most, which was the nouns float going by, and then also some users.
Yeah, we cut out everybody else.
Yeah, so the Rose Parade, if you watched it on our feed, was just the nouns float. Was anyone else there, Prof? I don't know. Not from what I saw.
Just a few, yeah, just a few thousand other people looking at other things. Yeah, there are a few floats.
Well, right, but we don't have to worry about them. It's fine. We.
All that to say, it's a very, very circuitous way of explaining that's why we chose this noun yesterday, is because we thought, hey, a rosebud noun head, what better way to pay tribute to the awesome folks that are doing all this stuff at the Rose Parade. Also have to give a big shout out to Uptoshi, who with her Nouns on the Ground did all the activations and organized all of the people in the tracksuits to be, what were they called again? Outwalkers is what they call the people walking beside the float, which we decided on our lunchbox earlier today. Sounds like something from like the Highlander. But anyway, take this on your journey. I hope you don't meet any outlanders. No, outwalkers. Anyway.
Any outwalkers.
Any outwalkers, yeah. Are there any outwalkers in Dota? I think that sounds like it might be something in Dota. Maybe Brendan knows.
That could be the new hero that they're.
How many outwalker kills do you have this year, Brendan?
Oh, in real life, I've got quite a few.
In real life, yeah, in real life.
That's concerning. Yeah. I was actually at the Rose Parade. Did you see any? Did you see any yet?
What?
Yeah, he was the one driving through it.
We didn't see you, and that's how good you are. Okay,
Because you only filmed the nouns one. I kept the nouns outwalkers alive.
Okay, thank you for doing that. Very, very nice of you.
Remember, everyone, nouns is not a cult.
That's actually the first thing we tell
force
people.
you to wear goggles, and we force you to sing songs.
Yeah, when people tell you, the first thing they tell you is that it's not a cult. That's how you know for sure it's not.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's like when somebody tells you they're very humble. It's
oh yes,
really big green flag there.
That's the first thing you ever said to me, Robot Fish Girl. In 20 seconds or less, never mind. In 4 minutes or less, we just got reset on the auction here. Tell us, what is FOMO? How did we choose the Rosebud noun this morning, and what are we going to do later?
So FOMO nouns is how we select the next noun. Now, you may have heard that nouns are randomly generated. That is true to some degree, but we do have a little bit of control. There's actually a seed that controls what the noun looks like, and with FOMO nouns, fomonouns.wtf, we can see what the next noun will be if it is minted on that block. So what we do on FOMO nouns is after the end of the auction, between the end of this auction and the start of the next, we play this game, FOMO nouns, where every noun that comes through, we vote up or we vote down. We give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you like it or you don't like it. If we reach at least 50% up votes within the first 2 seconds or so, then we will, and assuming FOMO is functioning, get that noun.
And this
and that's the noun that will be minted.
It sounds like a lot of math, but it's a lot more fun than it sounds like.
You just say yes or no depending on if you like it or not. It's a knee-jerk reaction type of thing.
That's right.
And listen to us yell at you about it, basically.
That's right. And the only rule is, if you want to come up on stage, it's super casual here. Anybody can come up and participate in the conversation, participate in the FOMO playing. Only rule is if you come up on stage, you have to keep your mic open and contribute to the chaos as much as possible. So I feel like that's reasonable request.
I think it is. Except for when we do knock IRL and we, we all keep our mics open inside a restaurant or wherever we happen to be.
And, we didn't even have to tell that to Nikki G. He just shows up with the chaos. He never had to be asked. And I appreciate
I actually suggested in IRL 9 o'clock for tonight, and everybody was just too tired. So it didn't.
Everybody was like, I will be. I was talking to Aptoshi earlier today. She's like, I really want to come to the show tonight. I really want to be on 9 o'clock, but I'm going to be unconscious.
So we could have had a Weekend at Bernie's situation with the prof order with Aptoshi. Hi, I'm Aptoshi. Today went really great. Has anyone seen that movie? It might be too deep of a cut.
Yeah, you might have gone way too far back there, Tony. But it's I could have done that.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably figure it out from the context clues. It's a movie about people that carry a dead guy around for a weekend. That's how they used to do comedies back in the day. So it's on the same level as Brennan's humor.
Fantastic.
I think we got Sir Action Slacks in the audience.
Ooh.
Sir Action Slacks in the house. I'm looking for him here.
Yep, I see him. I got him.
You got him? Please request to come up.
By the way, I think Seth Green should be required to explain nouns all the time to everybody because he did a really great job.
Yes, and
that was the best explanation.
I also think he should be required. He should also be required to come on 9 o'clock. So that's separate, but I just think he should be required.
Hard agree.
Yo, what up, fellas?
Sir Action Slacks. Hello, sir. How are you? Can you hear us? Can you hear us, Mr. Sir Action Slacks? Do we have any action in your slacks tonight?
Hello, can you hear me?
Wow,
I finally got it working. Hello.
What did you
Hello,
say?
sir.
There we go.
Hey, guys.
Don't worry about it.
We'll just breeze through that one.
We're gonna clip that one.
Yeah, right?
Apologies, guys. I was in a different meeting, different Twitter space, waiting patiently. Sorry about that, guys.
You're here now. You made it.
I am here now.
Glad you could join us here for 9 o'clock. This is a crazy space we do every single day at the end of the Nouns auction for the token that we auction off every single day for the DAO. So we're looking at the end of the auction here. There's like 3 minutes and 50 seconds left unless someone else bids. So just going to banter a little bit and talk to you about Nouns Proposal 198 for the Nouns Invitational. And then we'll play some FOMO and NOMO, which hopefully you'll play along with us. It's just a couple quick games. Games to choose the next noun. And then we'll come back to you and we'll be open for more questions. If anyone in the audience has questions about 198, if you're a nouner or a delegate and you want to ask things of Sir Action Slacks, this is the guy that you need to ask. He knows all the details about this prop. So welcome, Sir Action Slacks, and hope you have fun with us here tonight.
Absolutely. I can't wait to do this, guys. I am ready to have a party. I've been talking myself blue about this prop. So I am ready to answer anything. I am here at your leisure. I am more excited for the games. I have to admit, boys, but here I am, boys and girls. Hello.
You're gonna have fun with Nomo.
Oh, we'll be having fun with Nomo.
Yeah, boy.
Every time I hear that, I think it's Sam.
It does sound
every time.
It doesn't not sound like Sam. So we've got 2 minutes on the clock here now. Why don't we start with a quick and dirty summary of what 198 is all about? Can you tell us about your prop?
Yeah, absolutely. So the proposition is to try to get the biggest esports event in Nouns history. I come from esports, by the way. Last 10 years or something, running esports events myself. Been doing a lot of custom games in Dota, especially in my sphere of influence, if you will. Been running their biggest event, the International. It's a $44 million tournament that happens once a year in August, typically. And I work as production on that, as one of the co-producers of that event, and we want to do a esport events for Nouns. So if you don't know anything about esports, it's digital sports. It's the world of video games, competitive gaming. And I know that might not sound like it's a big deal or impressive or anything, but this sphere just gets bigger and bigger. A lot of people, when we started off as gamers, we're now getting old. In our 30s. I've gone bald myself. It's been a miserable journey. And now we're old and sad people who play video games, so a lot of our income goes into that. So it shares a lot of stuff with, people that have a lot of cash to spend. I'm like 35. These are usually adults that are, especially in Dota, watching these big video games that care a lot about them. And they get a unbelievable amount of viewership. We're talking in the millions, especially in a game like Dota 2. Just gets a insane amount of viewership for what it is. So we're looking to potentially hold. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Yeah. We're just looking to do it.
We're going to come back to all this.
Okay, sorry. I went too long.
No, it's okay.
It happens.
You'll have plenty more time to rant about all these things, and we want to hear all the rants. But
I do love rambling.
29 seconds left on the clock. That's the only reason why I'm butting in.
Oh.
So if we don't get another bid here momentarily, we are going to take a little game break, and everyone needs to go to fomonouns.wtf on their computer, on their phone, and help us mint the next noun of the day for NounsDAO. Let's do this. 8 seconds left. No bids can come in. We're going to FOMO. FOMO.
This guy, OX, who tried to refill his wallet.
All right.
And that's an interesting Sasquatch.
Yeah, we should have minted the Sasquatch.
Well, what are you after
Sasquatch.
now?
We should have
been nice.
He's already here.
Yeah.
Ben, I'm trying to bring you up, and it's not letting me.
I think we need a Game Boy.
Make him a co-host. Here, I'll make him a co-host. A Game Boy?
Yeah, don't we want the Game Boy or something like that?
Yeah, because that's
I mean, that'd be cool.
Okay, we can try to do something esportsy. What do you want to see, Sir Action Slacks? What do you want to see?
Yeah, give me the Game Boy. It's either a Game Boy or the skateboard. I mean, I'm pretty gnarly myself, but I'll take either one. I do like the unicorn.
Yo.
How about
just in time?
How about a bubble gum with an ugly shirt? Best I can do. No.
Now that I like.
Definitely not event. Unless we're doing an Among Us invitational.
Great.
Well, you often
piano
take
bed.
off vents and crawl through them and stuff in some of these games.
Oh, this is pretty.
Oh, where was that when we were looking for it? We were looking
For
for
winter
that
nouns,
7
yeah.
days straight during the holidays. It never popped up once. God damn it! Gotta wait till next year now.
Oh, it's a nice toothbrush.
Nope.
Not today.
It is a nice toothbrush.
That's for the day after Halloween.
Yeah.
The day after Halloween toothbrush.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a nice
Okay.
capybara.
That is a
That's
nice
such a cozy.
I do like the
capybara.
capybara.
That's a
For those
cozy
who want
bear
to play
right there.
along, you can jump on Como to WTF.
Ooh, that's
Robot
Uh,
Fischl, I think that was a cozy bear, wasn't it?
That was a clean chef.
Did we ever get a chef hat? Do we still not have a chef hat?
I
No,
think
we do.
Little Nouns.
we
got
do.
it.
Little
We got
Nouns has
I thought
one.
we got
Oh,
one.
no piano though.
Yeah.
The
I do
Wales-
like the noun
Wales
piano,
Little
but
Nouns
it's not
has
what we're looking for.
What are we looking for today?
I mean, what are
What
we looking
Game,
for? Is it just
Game
the
Boy.
Game Boy? I feel like maybe we just
Yeah.
go for an aesthetic noun today. It's been a while since we just went for a good, nice looking noun.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
saying.
Do that.
I do agree with that. Yeah.
We've been like hunting for specific nouns for like a week and a half now. Oh, like this amazing
That's true.
noun.
Ooh, the maze was big cool too.
It's nice.
That's sweet.
That's Little Maze. He's a rapper.
I'm trying to think of all of the Dota heroes that I haven't thought about, and like, you got me to reinstall Dota, and I'm mad
Oh,
about
that
it.
is that's terrible. Don't tell me that.
And I'm mad about it.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
You can always tell when somebody plays a game like
Oh my
seriously
God,
and
this
like takes it
iPad.
seriously when somebody else tells them, "Oh, hey, I started playing that game you played," and they go, "Oh God, no."
Oh God, what have I done?
Ooh, that's
What
a
have I-
This is a clean baseball.
That is cool.
Would you guys pay attention to FOMO? There's a game going on.
I'm paying attention. Listen, I'm just excited because of we're in like my realm of
spicy.
interest now.
Copy pepper.
Spicy
Ben, every time I
coffee.
see it, it reminds me of NASA or something.
That's a really nice pepper
Spicy.
copy.
I like that. I like that pepper. I voted it up.
Good.
Aboo.
I had this little.
This
Pop Ghost,
Nah,
Alright.
too bland.
meh.
Nah.
Yeah.
French fry piggy bank. I don't think so.
Nah, it's just not aesthetic enough. We're very picky around here these days.
We'll know when we see it.
Yeah.
We'll know.
Yeah.
We'll know
I
when the
never
time is
thought
right.
I'd see an ugly skull.
You know what? A camcorder would be good. A camcorder would be
Yeah,
cool.
that would
too.
be cool.
That would be kind of cool.
Roseberry.
Yeah,
If it's
the Roseberry
aesthetically
camcorder
pleasing
was really
one.
nice.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Greasy
Unicorn.
unicorn.
Greasy Unicorn, I gotta vote up. I gotta vote it up.
Voted it up.
That's
It's
like-
too good.
It
Okay.
was too good.
We got it. We get it.
So
We did have a unicorn on the
Hell
We
yeah.
got
So
it.
this actually does relate to our theme today, because if Greasy Unicorn was in a game, he'd be nerfed. He'd have to be nerfed. He's too strong.
There's a game
Too strong.
up now. Damn.
The Game
Yeah,
Boy.
there is.
Of course.
Damn it.
Wow.
All right.
Oh, of
Yeah,
course.
no discipline.
Well, speaking of people who are too strong, Sir Action Slacks is probably going to be at an unfair advantage for this next game. Go to nomo.wtf, NOMO.wtf, and we're going to be able to play to mint some of the nouns that we missed. There is a Game Boy here, the very first Nomo, so we might be able to get a Game Boy Nomo. I'm just saying.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
do a Game
It's
Boy.
a Game Boy.
And remember to
There's
connect your
also a
wallet.
really, really nice comfy bear on, so I might go for that. I don't know.
Yeah, the
No,
Comfy
yeah.
Bear is nice too.
There's also a chicken pot
No,
pie
the
up
Game
there.
Boy.
There's
I
a
like
chicken
to
pot
get
pie. There's a
bands,
Sasquatch.
Double
There's
So-
amazing.
record.
Oh my God! There's so many amazing Nomos here. What are we gonna do?
Alright, here we
Just
go.
spam click the noun you like the most. That's how you play this game.
Make your wallets connected.
Easy.
Just keep clicking.
That's not
You guys have
fair.
no idea about my
Somebody had
APMs.
50 clicks all in 1 second.
I was going to say, people like us have an unfair advantage on Nomo.
Absolutely. Y'all about to get no mode like you never no mode before your life.
I was just playing Apex for 2 hours before this. I am ready to go.
This is not fair.
I'm going for the
You
Game
know, the
Boy.
Game Boy
I
is
think it's perfect.
ridiculous.
Game Boy's too perfect.
I played
My finger-
Apex a little bit, and then I also played a little bit of CS:GO and was fanning with the revolver. So my clicking finger is ready.
We need to ban
Yeah, I
gaming.
think this is going to be a
Not
done
allowed.
deal. We'll see though.
You can't ban gaming mice on the space with the esports players.
I know.
It's like
I'm double
taking a
novel
steroid.
record.
Capybara.
Oh
Take
no, I'm gonna lose my double
Capybara.
novel.
No!
It's just
Say
a
goodbye.
landslide.
Say goodbye, Capybara.
No, Game
Dang
Boy.
it.
All right.
Well,
I got.
rip.
Game Boy
All
versus
right.
Mushroom. Seems appropriate.
Well, you killed my
Seems
Capybara, so I
appropriate.
guess I'll go for the Game Boy now.
Hey, it's a nice Game Boy,
Hey, get your
too.
hands off the Game Boy,
Game Boy
young
Day has
man.
the
You find something else. I have claimed the Game Boy. Go get the goat.
beautiful
Nobody wants the
logo.
goat, okay? Goat it up.
No, you want us to help you get the
You
Game
want
Boy.
us?
That's
We
how
want as many people as
collaborative.
possible to collab on the Game Boy. It's a team fight.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, okay, team fight, please. Everyone, Game Boy, if you could. Game Boy.
Game
And we got it.
Boy.
Well,
Game Boy
okay, well,
won.
first things
Man, it has
first.
a clean shirt. It's really clean.
First things first, if anybody said anything for the last 3 minutes, nobody heard you. So just to get that out of the way off the bat.
well, I was pretty
that was
proud
me.
to pull that double noggle records up to second, like right before the face-off. That was a pretty good effort.
My Capybara was doing pretty good too, and then he just got annihilated in the fourth
Yeah,
round.
we died together on that one, I think.
We did die together, but we tried our best. I had this image of Sir Action Slacks, and he's like in a gaming chair with like 5 different controllers, and he just spins around. He's like, "No, Mo, this is my time."
Yeah.
As soon as it started,
Just playing it like Aim Trainer.
yeah, there was
I
like
am
70
literally
votes
doing
on the
that.
Game Boy, and the game hadn't even started yet. I'm like, Action Slacks. I don't know.
Absolutely.
That would actually be an awesome promo for Nomo.
What gaming chair? Just like I can make that. I'll make that.
Can you help us make that, Sir Action Slacks, like a
Absolutely.
A Nomo promo?
Guys, I got to be real with you. I was already recording my screen, and that is literally the exact situation that just occurred. So the video was already done. Don't worry about it. We're in.
Excellent.
Right?
Excellent.
This is going 100% to plan. All right.
Fantastic.
So before we get back to the interview here and hear more about the Nouns Invitational proposal, just a quick note that if you want to mint this Nomo, you can, this little Game Boy Nomo, to remember that you were here with us tonight on the Noun Square. You can mint one for $8.38 USD. It used to be more expensive than this, but ETH shit the bed overnight. So now it's less in USD terms than it was yesterday. Get your Nomos now. Get your Nomos cheap in USD terms. One night only, possibly longer. Anyways, this is a Nomo. You can collect it. There's some gamification coming down the line from the team. We've got our dev working on some new stuff here coming up coming down the blockchain soon. So that's the Nomo spiel. I'm gonna mint mine now actually. So Robot Fistro, why don't you take it away with some questions for our guest?
I don't even know where to start. I mean, this prop makes me so happy because while I haven't played Dota for a while, I play a lot. I mean, I've recently been playing a lot of Apex, and I play a lot of esports. So I like all of the. I don't even know where to start because most of the questions that I have were answered during the Nounsel call. But first, why don't you just give everybody here a little bit of background for anybody who doesn't know? What is the point of this prop beyond just the Nouns Invitational? Like, why are you suited to bring this to the table for the Nouns?
All right, I'll make a non-speech this time, guys. You got it.
Oh no! Now we have until the next Noun goes up for auction tomorrow, which is about 24 hours. So we should be good.
Oh, fantastic! All right,
Yeah.
Buckle in, kiddos. Get your popcorn. Get comfy. No, I'm just kidding. The short and sweet of this is that the proposition is based on the fact that we think that Nouns is awesome. In the esports sphere, we get a lot of people, much like traditional sports, that are like betting companies or it's like the Saudi Arabian government or something. And we want to work with people that we think are doing something cool. And after researching Nouns, you guys actually got into our sphere by sponsoring the Dota 2 team, your Nouns esports team, and we researched you and actually liked this. I had no idea what a DAO was before I saw you guys. I know about crypto, I've dibbled and dabbled before, but the stuff that you guys are doing is really, really cool. And it's in a space where there's just not a lot of people that are doing cool stuff that you want to be associated with. So short and sweet, we want to bring people for the Dota, but have them stay for the Nouns. The International last year got about 18 million viewers from around the world. 6 million concurrently at the grand finals from around the world. And we want to basically run an event that is just nounish. The entire thing is nouns in between the games, the commercials. There's no commercials. It's like documentary about past things that you guys have put out before. In the game itself, we nounify the heroes. The entire game mode is made around NFTs and nouns, like where each team gets to own one hero and no one else gets to touch it. So yeah, we're just really excited to do something in the Dota 2 space with a partner that we want to do something with, and then onboard them into a Web3 community. We want to do something called a mini Dota DAO, which is where we take a percentage of the prize pool and give it back to our Dota community and let them vote on it, much like what you guys do. I find that the best way to teach someone and make someone like something is to let them experience it. So we want to do a mini one of that. We want to give out POAPs while they're watching, participation art that we commission from Dota 2 artists. Even if you don't have a crypto wallet, even if you've never heard of crypto, you just watch the stream as a viewer, you get a drop, you say, oh, wow, this is really cool from my favorite Dota artist. But we have a system where you can trade it in for in-game cosmetics. You can win Ask Me Anythings with your favorite pro player. You can win tickets to the event. And all of this is done. This is all the spiel just so that we can get a conversation going. As much as what I like what you guys are doing over at Nouns, I think that especially in the internet land over in gaming, the conversation around Web3, crypto, all this stuff, it's super negative because there's a lot of very vocal minorities. And even your guys' video, where the What is Noun video that you guys got passed in one of your props, we showed that to people and they didn't even want to watch it. They just don't want to get the conversation even started, even if you guys are like you, just getting together, trying to make the world a better place. Nobody even wants to start the conversation. So the general idea of this tournament...
And to be fair, there are a lot of scams too. Like, there's definitely some negative sentiment, but you can totally understand why people have that feeling, especially if they've been introduced to the wrong sides of crypto, or if they had all of their 2020 investments in FTX, or a number of other ways that they might have been badly introduced to this industry. So,
heck, man, FTX sponsored one of the biggest Dota teams last year. They were the title sponsor. Yeah. That's what a lot of gamers know when they think about your world. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, Brendan, didn't Nouns beat them once or twice?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
They dumpstered. But that
it was kind of bad.
If they had only seen the writing on the wall at that point, it was obvious that they were not solvent. When Nouns beat them, they should have known. No, I'm just kidding. I think this is great, and people talk a lot about how Nouns can be like a Trojan horse for crypto for people, and what you're describing is like, they're opening the gates of Troy. Trojan, I almost said, opening the gates of Troy, and there's just like 60 different horses of all these different things you're talking about, like POAPs and all these different ways of like getting people to use crypto, and they don't even know they're using crypto, is what I'm hearing.
And also, like, positive and negative sentiment is still attention. Like when you look at marketing or anyone that's trying to make it big, there's going to be negatives. There's always going to be haters. And you've got people that are passionate, even if they're against at the moment. And, that's probably a better target market than completely uninitiated, to be honest. Like, I think it's, that they'll eventually stop fighting themselves once they realize there's some kind of benefit there to them or something like that.
One thing that you can try to do, which I've done a lot as a big brother, is you can get them to just like lightly hit themselves in the face and say, stop hitting yourself, and then over time that can help.
Yeah, I typically give them some glue to sniff. That's my go-to. No, I'm just kidding. But
Tony, you know what I would do. You know what I would tell them.
Oh, you would probably tell them to get good, if I'm not mistaken.
There we go.
Get good.
But just to wrap up, that's really it. My biggest thing when I saw you guys was, who could hate Nouns? Who could not like what you guys are doing? A group of people getting together, pooling their resources to make the world a better place and change it. And that's really the idea, is to change people's minds and say, like, all of Web3 is shit, all of crypto is bad. But then they get in and they say, okay, these guys are doing good things. All the content is about all the things that you guys have passed, the communities that you've helped. And when the haters don't have any ammo, especially when we're doing a mini version of what you're doing to better their own community, something no one's ever done before, well, how do you have any ammo to hate that? And then, things will go from there. So the proposal very much is a wide-scale, educational and then onboarding platform where we hope to educate, integrate, and then see where it goes from there. But they got to come for some reason. You have to have all these viewers show up, and there is nothing better than something like esports. Because another great thing about it is that it's all tracked. This isn't just putting something up on a billboard on the side of a highway. Every person that watches this tournament will be able to know who they where they live, how long they watched, did they click on the links we wanted them to, did they actually use the POAPs, did they do any of this stuff? And data in the 21st century is king. So being able to have a baseline of saying yo, this is what we were able to achieve with this amount of money, and these are the people that we actually got to convince to come and join our community and make the world a better place. This is all available on esports. It's how it functions. It's how all of us live our lives in this data-driven world. So I think that's a huge part of this proposal too. Just something for Nouns to say, all right, look at these numbers. This is our investment, and this is where we can go in the future. But anyway, I don't want to be boring.
In summary, Slacks will take a POAP, use a POAP to find you, track you down, and make you love Nouns.
That's right.
Is that what
I will find out where you live. So that is the entire point. Thank you so much.
Prof, I have a question in mind for Brennan, but do you have a quick question for Slacks that we don't want to move on from?
Just super quick, yeah.
Sure.
So I'm just it's more of a comment. So when you came to Nounsel and spoke, I was really impressed, especially with the video. So I'm going to encourage everybody to look at the video if you haven't already. And I have no idea what Dota is. I do not play video games. I still think this is a fantastic idea, and I think it's going to have a huge impact. So, and I got that from the video to really get an idea of how this is going to look. It's a big price tag, but I really can see the ROI is definitely there. So I'm really hoping that people kind of look at the full picture and don't get too caught up in, well, I don't like gaming and I don't do gaming. Maybe the gamers hate us, or all of that. Like look beyond. It's a much bigger, I think, play here. So I'm really just hoping everybody takes a look at that video.
Yeah.
And that
really
was for
appreciate
me,
that.
52, who does not care about video games, but I still think this is an awesome thing. And my video game was Ms. Pac-Man. So there you go.
Oh yeah. Hey, you're still a gamer.
It's a classic.
Yeah, that's a classic. Well, thank you so much for your kind words. I really appreciate it. And we really are hoping that we just get a big success here. Maybe it starts in the gaming sphere, but then it gets picked up to people that aren't just, in gaming, aren't just in Dota. But if this is as successful as I think it will be, hopefully it's picked up by, general news outlets, people in the Web3 community. And it's happened before a lot, especially on that We Play As Throne. Our animator was featured in the Wall Street Journal and in Forbes. So with this amount of numbers and the amount of people that view this and absorb this content, I really don't think that it's just going to stop at gaming. I think it could go all over the place. But
yeah, and I feel like it's important to note too that with a game like Dota, I don't think if you're not really plugged into the gaming sphere, you might not realize how much influence Dota has on pop culture. It's a lot. There are people who make Dota references who don't know they're making Dota references in just regular memes. It's everywhere.
Actually, that reminds me, RFG, when you guys came to speak to Nounsel last week, one thing that you said really stood out to me, is that you said Dota is really customizable, right? And that they're very open to people sort of reformulating it and skinning it and whatnot. I thought that was interesting because it kind of almost jives a little bit with CC0 culture, even if not 100%. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Valve as a company is that's kind of what they've always done. Is that they've Dota started off as a mod from Warcraft 3. Jesus, I'm sorry, I can't talk.
Worldcraft 3 mod, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
World of
Thank you.
Warcraft 3, Jesus. I haven't seen
World
that
of
edition.
Warcraft
It was
3,
not.
guys. I'm
It
a
was
gamer.
just Warcraft 3. It wasn't World of War. Never mind.
I'm kidding. Yeah, at any rate, Valve is very much based on being able to modify and give the power to the people that are playing, because the majority of their games and their esports scenes come from the people. What I told you about that $44 million tournament once a year, the community 100% crowdfunds that. We pay for just cosmetics in the game that don't change it at any way, and the entire game is made out of custom games. It is truly the only AAA game developing company that wants to allow people to make games out of the products that they put out so that they can potentially get them to work at Valve. The number one thing they say is the best innovator for us and what we do is people taking our product and figuring out how to make it better. And that's coming from somebody that worked as a contractor there for 5 years, flying out to Seattle. So this just simply cannot happen in any other video game. If you try to do this in League of Legends, any other Blizzard game, it's like a $2 million buy-in to potentially hold a tournament in the next 10 years. With Nintendo, you better be hoping that you can run 15
With
tournaments in the next
Nintendo,
2
good
years.
luck.
Yeah, good luck. I mean, the amount of people that can absorb viewership from esports, it has to be a Valve game, and any other organizer is going to send you a cease and desist. But Valve are passionate about people taking what they put out, seeing what they can do with it, and if you make a product that they think is better than yours, hats off to you. It's completely modular. We can change the entire map. We can change the entire game mode, and nobody's going to sue us. So it's something that I've done personally about 4 times now. I love making tournaments like this. I've even got one of them to be an official Valve major, the Captain's Draft 4 that they put on their circuit. So yeah, it's just truly incredible, and it is very much like your guys' communities. It's just people getting together with their own skills and talent and making something new and, making the way of the future. Gaben's always been like that. So, yeah, that's why I think that this would be a really good fit.
Very cool. I want to sort of shift gears here for a second and ask either Brennan or Sasquatch, whoever can answer better. Can you just tell us about Nouns Esports, when it started and how that's been going?
Yeah, I can if Sasquatch, you want to talk about it. But man, when did it start? Is that back in like March?
Yeah, I want to say May.
May.
Proposal number 68, though. That's the first prop we started with, and that was signing a Dota team to Nouns. And we obviously had our successes beating some teams like TSM and Evil Geniuses. These historic decade plus established teams that are kind of the faces of esports. And with that successful run of the Dota team, we were able to fund a esports pod that Brennan, myself, and a bunch of other contributors are active with. And we're just proliferating the meme through esports.
That's awesome.
Brendan,
it's been a huge success from what I've seen from the outside as well. But yeah, maybe you can add some color to that, Brendan.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the biggest things is our ability to bring in a lot of contributors because we're sort of open to operators across the entire sort of video game sphere, if you will, right? So we've had tons of different people come to our open calls every Friday, which feels like, because we don't even have kind of a fork yet, maybe a fork coming soon this year, but like it's kind of permissionless and just be like, I'm interested in esports. I'm kind of interested in Web3. I can just join this call and talk about bringing some new prop or something interesting to the table. And we've seen tons of awesome stuff going on. And I know we don't mention it because a lot of this goes through the pod, not necessarily straight to Nouns, but there's been so many cool things. And I think, some of the smaller things we're doing is really awesome. Like, our Super Smash player, Aklo, who's crushing it right now in New York in country and statewide. So there's just some really awesome stuff happening outside of even Dota.
Amazing.
Really quick question.
Go ahead, Prof.
Will esports have a team if this prop goes through? Will esports have a Nouns team in the Dota tournament?
Oh, you bet. Are you kidding me? There's no way. How are we going to have a Nouns Invitational without the Nouns team? Gee, that would be
Just
I don't care if I have to rig it. All right, they're coming. No, I'm kidding. No rigging.
Prof, next time you're going to ask a question, that's stupid. No, I'm just kidding.
That's
I'll say we really enjoy operating in Dota as somebody trying to spread the meme because as Slacks mentioned, Valve kind of lets you do a lot of customization in game, and so for example, whenever our players are playing a competitive match, there's literally flags with noggles on them, like waving in the air, with their in-game physics, and our logos plastered on the ground, and we can even each team has like a cosmetic pack, so the players have voice lines, and then there's wallpapers and sprays they can use in game. Last season we had like a noggle spray, so I think one of Brennan's favorite things to do is if somebody else puts down a spray or dies, we just slap noggles on top of them.
You vampire them. Yeah, you vampire their spray. They have no idea it's coming. They put down some cheeky little spray, and then I spray the noggles right on top of it. I've perfected the aim of it. I'm a terrible Dota player, but I'm an amazing sprayer.
You sound like me in TF2.
Exactly.
Now I want like a Roku announcer pack where you just get like.
No, you might be slightly rugged there, RFG. Now you're muted.
Sorry.
I'll just add, for a Dota team, we've been with the same, majority of the same players for the last 6 months, and it feels like we're starting to get like a real attachment to the players, and they were not Web3 savvy at all, so it was a big process of onboarding them and giving them understanding of what Nouns even is. But now they're really starting to get it, and I'm hoping they're boot camping actually this January because the competitive circuit's about to start again, so look forward to that. But they're going to start boot camping, in about a week, and I'm hoping to get some content back to the Nouns community just to put, we have these players and they have their names like Gunner and Husky, but I would love for the Nouns community to get to know them a bit better. So look forward to that.
This is awesome. So cool. I'm so excited about this. Sorry, I'm like a shameless fangirl right now.
I don't know if you guys ever met or saw Moo's mother. So Moo is one of our players, and there's like a Moo mother, and she immediately adopted one of the cows that she made on Playground and has like been sporting it on like Instagram and Twitter for like the entire season, and still does, which is freaking amazing. And she's like one of the best like player moms like in the space, so it's pretty amazing.
Yay, mom!
Okay.
Giving a shout out to moms.
Yeah, Mama Moo.
Mama Moo had a great run at a TI, the big crowdfunded tournament. And he ended up getting, I think, second place. But yeah, his mom was there cheering in the crowd, and I think the showrunners like kind of made a spectacle of it and stuff. It was pretty cool.
It was great. It was it is sad though. He named himself Moo, so when he walked out, everyone was going Moo, but it sounded like everyone was going Boo, Boo, and he got very depressed. But later we found out they were all saying Moo, but when his mom came out, they said Mama Moo, and then they're like, okay, they're not booing my mom, so he did figure it out.
Or were they? No, I'm sure they were.
Or were they? No, they're not degenerates. They're gamers. They're not degenerates.
Why not both? Sasquatch, I'd love to hear the meet cute about how you guys came to even start talking about this with Sirac and Slacks. How did that come to be?
Yeah, so the Dota community is pretty well connected in the sense that players have been playing for decades or longer. Dota's been around for such a long time, and it's in the second iteration. It's Dota 2, not Dota 1. But the same players that were playing Dota 1 and were really good at that, have carried forward. And one of our players last season, his name is Z-Freak, is actually the brother of a fellow named Kyle, who is one of the operators who submitted this proposal. Z-Freak is a pro player, but and Kyle is now working for WePlay. But in the past, Kyle was also a pro player, and they were actually brothers who competed together. They were on teams together. And so Z-Freak is still playing, but Kyle has become more of an operator and a builder, and that's why he's here, working with Slacks on this proposal. But he heard about us because we had our team, and then obviously his brother was on it, so he looked a little bit more into what was going on, understood Nouns, and then I think introduced Slacks to Nouns. Is that right? Slacks, or I mean, obviously saw our team, but going deeper.
Yep, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I saw Nouns when they first hit the scene. I was like very many other people, and I said, "Oh boy, here we go, some kind of NFT crypto sponsor." And then I looked at it and said, "Oh, okay, that's pretty neat." And started working for WePlay a few months ago, and heard about Kyle's idea, and it just kind of sparked to me like this could be the first time that you could have a title sponsor from the Web3 community that is not going to be completely just hated. They will actually be liked if you can get the story out there. So that's really where it all came from. Just the esports team coming into Dota 2, growing the space, especially in North America, which is a part of Dota 2 that I'm very passionate about and always needs help because NA gamers, what can you do? Not as good as those Europeans. So, it's very sad. But they made a lot of waves, and I was super impressed by that. And then I got kind of impressed by the whole thing. So there you go.
I have a question for Sax and Slacks. And this is general about NFTs and the gaming community. Why is there so much hate, I would say, for NFTs in the gaming community? To me, it's the gaming community has always understood collectibles and how they work. Why all the hate? And I don't understand it. Could you explain it some more, please?
Yeah, it's extremely unique because what is an NFT besides just an in-game cosmetics, but that is spread across all of gaming and your entire life? I don't know. That tournament, again, is funded 100% by just locked cosmetics that you put value on, that you buy in game, and that's it. So honestly, I don't really know. You would think that the market would be huge because they share a lot of the same interests. Everybody's online. They understand crypto. They understand the value of digital goods. I think that a lot of it, again, is just by negative people that are saying, every single thing in Web3 is a scam. Every single thing in crypto is just someone trying to rip you off. And then if you just get that pounded in your head over and over and over again without any evidence to the contrary, I think that's just where you end up. I mean, I used to work in the restaurant business, right? And these guys used to do bonuses per restaurant based on who gave reviews. If you got positive reviews, you got bonuses. If you got negative, you got worse. And they would find that their best restaurants were the ones that had the most negative reviews. Didn't make any sense. But then they found out that, of course, if you have a good meal, if you expect something to be good, no one's going to waste their time writing oh, wow, my needs were met. It's only the people that are upset expecting something. So I think very much it's the same. The people that are vocal minorities in this space are very vocal because they have a reason to be vocal. Something bad happened to them. Whereas people that are happy in the space, you don't see them shouting from the rooftops, my needs were adequately met. I'm happy. So yeah, I guess that's a really big reason why I want this tournament to happen, is because it changes the prerogative. It changes the conversation to say, look, these guys are doing good things. These guys are good people. Not everybody in this is an FTX or something you have to be worried about. And I think it's a really big deal.
I will say that Ben Body's entire Yelp account is just my needs were adequately met, but he is built different, so that might be not a fair.
Ben Body was constructed alternatively.
I have a clue why gamers aren't going into Web3, and honestly, I think it's a really straightforward answer of most games that are Web3 integrated are not very fun to play. Play to earn was like this huge wave over the last bull market, and all of those games are just like pretty much straightforward, not fun. They're not enjoyable to play. The reason why people were playing them for the vast majority was economic reasons. When there's a game that's genuinely fun to play and has good Web3 elements incorporated, I think that's like going to be the wave that really onboards the masses.
Yeah, I've heard that said by some smart people in the past. Sorry, go ahead, Ben.
I was just going to say, not to mention a bunch of it was vaporware too. Like a bunch of different ones were launching and pretending that they were going to make some big game and just getting everyone psyched on it and buying tokens and stuff. And it's just like ICO boom again. It was crazy.
Maybe they even intended to, many of them, but it's really fucking hard to build a game, especially a good one.
Yeah,
Taking
exactly.
building
Yeah.
a game takes like Dota's 2 decades old and like is still getting balance changes and updates. Like new
Yeah, didn't
games that
they
are
just
coming
have
out
to?
these days take like 4 to 6 years, like on average at least, to come out, like AAA games. So it
Didn't they
just
just have to nerf the greasy unicorn just recently?
oh man, the greasy unicorn would be broken if it was in Dota. Be slippery.
Robot Fish Girl, Robot Fish Girl, you got a question?
Oh no, the other thing that I think is keeping gamers away from Web3 that I've seen. It's a combination of all of the people being extremely negative for legitimate reasons, combined with the people who don't have too much firsthand experience because the only firsthand experience they had was hitting the wall of Web3 being really hard to onboard into, like figuring out how wallets work and all of that. That's what I notice. A lot of people, they run into that wall and then they're like, well, this is really hard to do, so it must be terrible. Because that's the logic that a lot of these people seem to follow. Admittedly, I hang out with League of Legends players, but still.
Oh, casuals. Okay, she hangs out with casuals, so that's
yeah.
Sorry.
On that note, I'd love to hear from Slacks himself. What did you think made the Nouns community different than some of the other crypto stuff that you'd encountered previously?
I mean, positivity. Doing good things in the world. It's not all just about, hey, join into this and we'll see if we can grow our value on this and then everyone's going to value off of this. It's, hey, let's renovate a basketball court. Let's put the names out there. Let's put the memes out there. Not taking yourselves hyper seriously and being about having fun and doing cool things coming together. I've never seen anything like that. Again, this is my first exposure to a government entity like this. So it was really a breath of fresh air because I am a firm believer that it's like crypto, there will be a unified like world currency that is not bound to nations and stuff. I believe in that future. I just think that a lot of people have, put some speed bumps on the way. And this was actually a project where I was like, okay, this is a non-centralized thing where people are getting together and changing the world. This is what it's all supposed to be about. So that's really my first time that I ever saw anything like that. And that's what got me excited about Nouns. And that's why I thought that, this partnership could work. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Ben, do you think this would be a good time for us to release the Noun Square ICO Ponzi token, or should we wait a different show?
Well,
I'll take it.
I mean, maybe we should just adjust the roadmap and include big game. I think that's.
No.
Yeah, I think that's true.
I think it's called Nomo.
Yeah, we're gonna turn Nomo into an esports game. So just stand by.
There's any validity to the competition over hardware in the pandemic times, and whether that's some of the negative sentiment, people competing for graphics cards, etc. with
that's
miners.
a big part of it too. Yeah, definitely.
And if so, why do they still hate Ethereum?
Well, I mean, they did have to wait, like, I don't know exactly how long, but it was quite a while until graphics cards prices came back down again. So they probably you could probably 5x the amount of time they waited.
PTSD.
Yeah, it's partially that, and also like most people didn't know the merge happened until like today. Some of them.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
I completely forgot about that. I am actually quaking in rage right now. So yeah, that does have a part of it. I just bought a new graphics card yesterday. So, yeah, that's got to have something to do with it, my friends.
That's actually the main reason why. That's actually the main reason why we did the merge. Actually, is Vitalik was like, "I need these for gaming. We can't be using these for mining anymore. We're moving to proof of stake. I'll write an article for my Medium. Don't worry, it'll be okay." And that's how the merge happened. If you didn't know,
honestly, wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, so coming full circle back to the prop, the Nouns Invitational Tier 1 esports event. The ask is 799 ETH. Can you run us through, the rough breakdown? You have to go through everything here, but just roughly what that's going to go to and what it will bring back for Nouns. And I don't mean ROI, and I don't mean dollars ROI. I just mean what kind of exposure and what goodness will come to Nouns from this, in your opinion.
Yeah, of course. So I talked about all the positives about running things in the Dota 2 space. You know, the completely modular way that you're able to change the map, being able to get into the space without having to pay any fees, using IP and all that. The one negative is prize pool. We pay our pro players better than any other esport. They're making, 10K off a tournament in the League of Legends. We're giving them $1 million for them to bat an eye. So a large portion of this does have to go to the prize pool in order to get the best teams in the world to show up there and get people to watch it. So that is big number one. Besides that, just operational costs. I mean, honestly, we are running this tournament not at a profit. We are paying enough for our people to run it in our LA studio just to put the lights on and make it happen, because it's really for us an investment to be able to say, hey, here's us working with a third party, then we kicked its butt, we got a ton of viewers, and we can do other stuff as well for other people. So as much as we're asking you guys to take a leap and see if this works out for you, we're doing quite the same thing. Kyle, of course, is my better half when it comes. I'm the idea guy, he's the numbers guy. But I can't say that we really think the amount of money that we're asking for, we're doing it on purpose because we actually think this is the only thing that's going to work. We could for sure say, hey, let's split this up into 3 little events and we'll, do it at a third of the price. But honestly, I just don't think that will function. Dota 2, especially we make world-class events that blow people's socks off. We're Emmy Award nominated. I myself won an Emmy last year for my work on the international, and that's what works in the sphere of gaming because gaming is so big. There's always a new game coming out. So if you really want to make a splash, if you really want people to watch it, you got to do it right. So that's why we sent the proposal that we did, where everything is going to be spent for as low as we can do it, but we still have to pay the teams. We still have to pay the world-class talent. We still have to fly everyone to America and get them visas and put them up with food and hotels. And that's why the price is where it is because this is the only thing that we think could actually feasibly work with the system that we want to do.
I'm glad you brought that up in particular because I think a lot of people don't understand that like this is an actual event where you're flying in all the players and they're playing just as if it was any other sport event. I think I've heard a couple people make comments about like why do we need so much money for people to play, from their from their office or whatever, wherever they are. That's not what this is at all, right?
No, not at all. I mean, especially for a world-class event like this, you need everyone there at the same ping. We got Chinese folks playing against North American folks, playing against South American folks. Dota 2 is one of the most international games, if not the most international games, with people from around the world that all compete. God, I think there was something like 52 different nationalities at the last large event that we do. So you simply can't play someone from China in America sitting in their living room. You got to bring them there. And that's what brings the big hype is seeing these guys that practice all year and then they come to these large LAN events and they showcase the best of the best playing with the best ability. So yes, they have to be live. And of course, we have a room for an audience as well. And we're probably only going to fill that up with Nouners and people that are in the Nouns community and send them tickets. We said about 100 people with the current stage set up. So we want to have folks in the audience as well and, have them over in our hotels and take care of them so that they get to experience an esport event for the first time because that's pretty important to us. But anyway, okay, so what does Nouns get with this? Well, you get to reach a 1 million viewer community of all like-minded people that are constantly on the internet and understand crypto. And now they get to see a good actor in the field. You get to start the conversation with that and change some hearts and minds. They come for the Dota. They say, I'm not going to watch any of this Noun stuff. Then they watch the Noun stuff and say, these guys are actually cool. And we actually saw that in a thread that appeared on Reddit when we did the announcement. There was a lot of, oh my gosh, NFTs, oh, crypto. Then they researched you guys without the event even taking place. And they're like, hey, this is kind of cool. And they came and talked in the discourse and we're talking about how they're excited for the event. So that's big number one. Number two, onboarding and growing of your communities. Everything that we do from event start to finish, we're going to be inviting people to go in the Discord for contests. We're going to be dropping POAPs. We're going to be having that mini DAO to get people in it, the DAO, if you will, to let people understand what's going on. That all falls under the purview of number one. Number three is that you guys get hard data. You get to see all the people that were able to witness this. You get to track who actually clicked on links, how successful we were, and have a nice baseline for the future of Nouns. And not only that, but you get us creating this content that will be evergreen. Every single piece of content that we make with you in the community leading up to it, that's yours. You get to keep that content forever. You get to keep the VODs of the event forever. You get to see the live chat of people reacting to your event forever, to use in any ways that you guys want to. I know you guys have had this stuff created before, and that you guys have specific props of showcasing all the wonderful things that you guys have done. But I'm not sure that you guys have had those premiered and had those made on such a wide scale where you get to see people reacting to them live about how awesome they are. And to get me working on them too. I want to make these documentary series. I want to absolve myself and keep myself in this entire prop for the entirety of the time to make the best content showing the world who you guys are. So you have to have all that data, all that evergreen content. You get to have one of the biggest events in esports history that comes out worldwide and shows the world who you are to a massive, massive amount of people. And this is legitimately the only game, the only time, the only people that can do it. And that's why we brought you here. That's what brings us to the table. So I think there's other things you get, but I'm pretty long-winded. I don't want to bore you guys.
No, I think that was great. I think that really summed it up really well.
Right,
maybe I'll
great.
just ask Brennan from the side of Nouns and from Nouns Esports, with which you helped spin up with Sasquatch and Maddie and the rest of the folks there. What do you think this brings to Nouns, or what would you say to your fellow Nouners who might be balking at the cost or not really understanding? What would you say to them?
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things is, like Slack said, with the evergreen content is king. Like, we'll be able to surface that just like the Rose Parade, right? Having Seth Green do a 3-minute interview, right, that's nationally broadcasted. Those are the type of things that legitimize, ourselves as a community, as a DAO, as an organization, and puts us into the, the real world space, the meat space, and makes us look and feel legit. So people and other talented, builders and artists and designers can come to us and feel like they're not, stepping something risky, or they could get scammed, or they can get rugged, that they're actually joining something that real talent has worked with before. And I think the We Play team is literally the best in the business for esports. So it's going to open the gate for Nouns Esports and Nouns in general to be like, hey, super top talented people have been working with us and have developed, this amazing production level quality. We can do that too. And so you'll start getting a way more requests to come in to work with us, right? Different cool partnerships, I think, across not just, video games in general, but just thinking different media, mass media, all across the world. So I think it's just one of those things. It's one of those lighthouse proposals that if we can nail this one, it's going to open up a lot more doors in the future.
Amazing. Anyone else have any questions at all or comments about 198? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Slacks. Go ahead.
That was me. But yeah, I just wanted to add that, like, I think as a pod, and as a sub community of Nouns, the better a sub community does, the more people who are also involved in that activity. So esports, for example, the more people from the esports community that are going to hear about the Nounish sub community. So fundamentally, like, as we do work in esports, we're going to keep getting really awesome and cool, ambitious ideas brought to us. That being said, Slacks and We Play are, just easily in the top list of greatest people to work with in esports. So the fact that they came to us first, it was really shocking and also just amazing. And, if I was to make like a dream list of people to work with beforehand, they were clearly going to be on it. And so it's just a really amazing opportunity. And I think it's hard for people who aren't native to Dota to kind of understand like how big of a deal Slacks is in that particular community. But I mean, millions of people know who he is and have seen him as the face of like the biggest events in the world. So he's just extremely well established and is really, just one of the best brand ambassadors I think we could have in the realm of esports and gaming for Nouns.
I can confirm that because I'm not super plugged into Dota, but I am plugged into esports. And when I saw that Slacks was on one of the people submitting this prop, I switched to my normie account and I was like, this can't be the same guy. And then I have 67 friends, mutuals following him, and I was like, oh, it is the same. So
RFG just flexing up here, just flexing.
You guys are making me blush. Yeah, I want to leave. This is
the point is that these people know what they're doing.
Yes.
I have wondered that as well. Like, I've wondered about how excited people got, for example, about a prop, even just the thought of a prop involving Nouns and Mr. Beast, for example. How much of this people voting against this prop is people just not understanding the niche and like how much reach there is with someone like Slacks, Brennan?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a difficulty, but I also think it's just a change in mindset. I think Nouns has gotten successfully popular, but with that, a lot of requests for funding. And so we've come at in an interesting point, or I would say an inflection in how the DAO is going to think and operate in terms of how we do proliferation. So it is kind of coming at I think the beginning of this period. And so I feel like more people who would have maybe given us the experiment are maybe not voting for us. But I do think it's not just the niche. It's just, I think it's really the biggest thing is just the size of the request. But it's one of those things where, we talked about this last time, is like you can't de-scope this proposal. It's like you go big or you can't do it because that's the top level talent that you need to pull this off. So it is unfortunate that we couldn't scale it down, but it's just one of those things you just can't. And I think I'm very hopeful that when this passes, and it actually, we pull it off and it's going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to blow people's mind. They're going to be like, okay, I get it. They're going to look back and be like, that was actually fairly cheap for what we got.
I'll just add that, not how this proposal can't be de-scoped. I mean, the venue that We Play wants to use in LA, their LA studio is the same, facility that they're doing their NFL broadcasts from. It's it's a legitimate high level production studio. So it's just it's a certain tier of event. Esports has a scale when it comes to tournaments. They can be held in a friend's mom's basement, or they can be held in a football stadium, and there's everything in between. So We Play wants to hit a certain scale where everyone in gaming is paying attention because it's a high quality event, and it's easily recognizable to be that. So they're targeting a certain budget and a certain setup and a certain structure with all that in mind.
That all makes sense. Is there anyone else here on stage or even in the crowd here listening who has a question about this prop or has a comment for Sir Action Slacks or Brendan or Sasquatch? I saw that Gabruji, if I'm saying your name right, hopefully Gabruji Gaming, asked to come up. Did you have a question?
I just wanted to ask, what is according to Sir Action Slacks, what is the future of Dota? Because every now and then the patch changes, and that is actually nowadays people are more into just watching the game and not just playing it, because it's so try hard, especially in free server. Sorry.
Sir, you sound like me. You absolutely sound like me. God, I don't want to play Dota anymore. I just want to watch it. So Dota 2 is an extremely unique game. Typically, you'll get a game that has its heyday. It's about 5 years, and then the community goes away. This game has been pumping out content for the last 15 to 20 years, and some people just go through. We have a saying though: once you go Dota, you're always a Dota fan. You always go back, even if you don't want to play anymore, even if you don't have the time. You still become a viewer and you're super invested. So quite honestly, where I think Dota is headed in the next several years, I think that the viewer base will continue to grow as more people transition from being active players to just viewers, because it's the best video game in the world. It is legitimately the hardest and the most rewarding to watch as both a viewer and a player. And I think we're going to see a lot more third-party tournaments much like this one. And that's another big reason that I want to do something like this. Valve has had, they started off with having a lot of third-party tournaments. Then they moved on to more of having like a grip on their scene. But now I think they're going to get more relaxed and say, okay, if people want to come into this space and make something beautiful out of it, much like what happened in the Counter-Strike space, they can now do that into Dota. And a big reason of why I think that this tournament would be successful is because of that fact. I think this will be a great example for what people can do in the Dota 2 space to help the game, as well as helping out Nouns a lot. It's really just everyone winning about having a third-party tournament that has nothing to do with Valve and just making a really good product. Because honestly, in the next 3 years, I think Valve will continue to get more hands-off with the product, let people take over it, much as they always have in the world of PC gaming, and then see what incredible things come out of it. So that would be my answer. More viewers, more third-party tournaments, and a lot more fun because we don't have to live up to any standards and we can do whatever we want. So hopefully the Nouns Invitational is just the beginning of that new era.
I can't wait until like Nouns esports gets big enough that we can have random people come onto this space and I can just be like, so tell me, what are your favorite smoke spots on Vertigo? Like,
one day. But yeah, I think the more that you guys get your names out there, especially in this space that, it's much like traditional sports, except we're all connected, basketball players, they hate football players, soccer players, they hate America and we hate them right back. But in gaming, it's completely different. We all just understand that we're all gamers and we're all in the same hobby, but everyone has a different flair. And that's why the world of esports is so special because across
you hate everybody equally. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You're all detestable normies compared to us. No, just across all games, we all share the same love, even if it's different and has different flavors. And it's kind of like I like sports, but on a massive, like global scale. So anyway, I'm gonna stop gushing about my life, what I do. So this is my everything. So
awesome.
Thank you guys so much.
Looks like one more question from Mr. Bobo, and then we will wrap it up because I know it's 1 a.m. and you guys probably have to go play games. So, Mr. Bobo, did you have a question? Mr. Bobo, we're on the edge of our seat here. Don't leave us hanging. Going once.
I love you, Mr. Bobo. Mr. Bobo, please.
Mr. Bobo. Oh, jeez. I'm really sorry. Oh, good. Thank God.
But then, I think that the audience will grow if we make the national representative tournament. Were there any news if Dota will present a national tournament?
I'm sorry, I wasn't able to understand that. Can anybody? Did anybody pick that up?
Sorry, I am better English. Sorry.
You're okay, buddy.
He asked
it's all
about
good.
a tournament. I'm not sure exactly.
Like World Cup,
Oh, the World Cup of Dota.
Yes, just like that. I mean, every 3 year or 4 year like that, and national,
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
That is
national competitive.
Yeah, we do things like that.
I
of
think
course, the international.
I think the audience will grow if we do that.
I think he wants to say that if we don't organize the international
annually, Dota,
but after 4 years, the hype becomes more.
People who don't play Dota, they will eventually will cheer for the Dota, their national
after
team.
4 years, the hype becomes more.
The audience will grow bigger. Right?
Everything is
like
better with a little.
FIFA World Cup, it happens after 4 years. So if we have the international after 4 years, the hype becomes more comprehensive. That's what he means.
Everything's better with a little bit of nationalism thrown in. So, Sir Action Facts, we'll expect that as your next prop after you announce the
Absolutely. You guys pass this one, we'll do it. Sounds good.
The Noun Olympics. The Noun Olympics.
The Noun Esports Olympics is on the way. Sounds good. Great idea, sir.
Awesome. All right. Well, I just want to thank you, Slacks, for taking the time to come and hang with us and talk to us about your prop. Thank you, Brennan and Sasquatch as well. It was really nice to hear about what you guys are doing, and thanks for answering the questions that people had as well. We do have, speaking of POAPs or Action Slacks, we like a POAP around here. We actually give a POAP every single day that people tune in here. My man Ryan Mack here should have a POAP for us, for everyone who tuned in. So, Ryan Mack, take it away.
I do have a POAP, Tody, so you can head over to poap.xyz or download the POAP app on your phone's marketplace. When you get there, you hit the mint button in the bottom right corner, then the secret word tab, and tonight's secret word is Action Pants 69. That's for you, Tody.
Oh, let's go. Heck yeah.
Action Pants 69. I like how
that was my first gamer tag, actually. Thank you. That's great.
At what point did you graduate to Action Slacks? Then that's actually an interesting. I'm wondering about that. Did you have to level that up in game or no?
You know, a real story. I actually got that. That's real. If you go to cland.com, you can pay them and they'll make you a sir. I did that for real. It's pretty cheap. So yeah, please refer to me as sir. It is real. I have the deed on my wall. Thank you.
I apologize for every time that I referred to you without your title this evening.
Thank you.
Please do not set the Royals family of
off with his head.
A sir of the Principality of Sealand. That is the most violently esports thing you've said today.
Thank you so much.
A couple housekeeping items here. Robot Fishko, can you do a retweet picker for us in the background if you don't mind?
Yeah, I'm on it.
Housekeeping. Awesome. Couple things I've just pinned above. One is a thread that Joshua Fisher just did of all the entries to our shoebox float parade contest that we ran, and we got some really cool ones. It was the rules were that you had to use a shoebox and things that you had around the house to make a miniature version of a Rose Parade float, the Nouns float. So that was really cool. Lots of interesting ones came in. I guess that's sort of a contest that gets done in Pasadena a lot with like school kids and whatnot. So we thought it'd be kind of fun to throw it out to our community. There's a thread there of all the different entries. They're going into voting now. We'll have a winner for you in a couple days. Thank you to all who participated. And then I also want you to scroll to the second pin above where we have some. Hold that thought. We've got a special mint for you today. And if you're here tuned in, you're going to get an earlier edition than anybody else who sees this in the morning just because you were here with us. It is a beautiful illustration by Meshup. It's a Meshup X the Noun Square Special Rose Parade Commemorative Edition, a free edition on Zora. You can click the link in that pinned tweet and mint it to your wallet of choice. These illustrations he did especially for the Rose Parade. They were turned into stickers and passed out to children at the parade by Toshi and the Nouns on the Ground crew. So cool way for us to sort of commemorate the awesome Rose Parade event that happened this morning.
So I minted this from the multi-sig during the show and thought, oh yeah, I'll just, I minted the actual NFT and the final transaction. And then I was like, I'll go and mint the NFTs after the show. It's sold out.
Did it really?
Yep.
No, it didn't.
Gonski. Yep.
You're kidding me.
969 out of 969 gone. I didn't even get one.
Oh my god. I feel really bad now. I thought that I had enough there for him. Are you sure?
We're probably going to have to start doing 696.
No, confirmed. I thought you were fucking with us.
Did we get botted or something?
There's just 9 pages, 102 collectors with almost 10 each, I guess.
Well,
I minted 10. If anybody wants one, just DM me on Twitter. I got you.
Oh, a legend.
Nice.
That's amazing. Well, I mean, I think it's pretty incredible that it sold out before I even announced it. That just goes to show you how much people love Meshups art.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. I wonder if Meshup will be able to get one.
I saw your tweet.
I'm into 3, so.
I saw that it was tapped, and I just went for it during this space, because I was like, these are going to actually potentially go out.
I grabbed a couple like while I was asking questions to Sir Action Slack. So like when I was stumbling over my words, that's why, is because I was minting Meshup's edition. So Ben Body, I guess if I had to give you a piece of advice, it would be get good.
Yeah, exactly.
I have brought this into the lexicon of the Noun Square, and I am so happy to inject Dark Souls culture into this show.
I'm just
we got a skill
stupid
issue here.
I'm
Skill issue.
I'm just stupid because I stayed in the
host diff
in the multi-sig chat after minting it and executing the transaction. I'm like, where's the link to the NFT? And then I just didn't check again. It hasn't been updated anyway. I should have just checked Twitter though. What a loser.
You thought you had the inside track there. Sorry, Ben.
Yeah, I created this thing and I didn't even know where to go.
Incredible.
Oh well.
And shout out Meshup, because we did a live viewing party of the Rose Parade in Discord earlier, and he kind of mentioned in the chat, he's like, maybe I should mint this, and then I piped up and I said, hey man, if you want to, we want to do more minting on the TNS deployer, so if you want us to mint it as a commemorative, let's get it together. He sent it over to us, and we got it minted. So love collaborating with that guy. And if you've been here and listening to 9 o'clock, you know that we're also collaborating on another edition that's going to be even better than this one, I dare say. And you may need to have a Nomo or two in your wallet to mint it. So I'll say no more. Joshua Fisher, you've got your hand up. Your arm looks sore. What's up?
Wait, are you guys talking about that Meshup piece that's already minted out?
The one that sold out before I announced it? That's the one. Yep.
Oh my days. Sasquatch, I will be DMing you. I will be taking you up on that offer. Thank you very much.
Well, it's very
already.
limited edition. Awesome. Robot Fish Girl, can we get a retweet picker winner? Because we give 0.069 ETH to one lucky person who tunes in and retweets the room every single day here on the Noun Square.
We absolutely can, and it is a familiar face. Today is retweet picker winner. Well, a little familiar, but hasn't won in a while.
All right.
Today's retweet picker winner is Pin Pusher.
Pin Pusher. Pushing pins around.
You got it.
TF2 theme. Let's go.
I had to.
Do it live. All right, Joshua Fisher. You're stretching your other arm now. What's up?
I've been waving all day, so I'm still, I have to get some stretches in. Did anyone see me on the Rose Parade and catch my little addition to my fit?
No, I someone said they saw
I did.
You
had a shark fin on the back of your jacket.
All right, thank goodness. At least somebody caught it.
It was very visible for like 3 seconds.
Right.
I mean, you had to kind of look for it, but I figured, I saw it out of the corner of my eye, and then I was like, wait, was that what I thought it was? Once I knew it was there, I was like, yeah, it's right there. It was fantastic.
Thank you. I needed that.
You know who did notice it? All of the patrons at the restaurant that he went to lunch after. Like, this guy's a little weird. No, that it looked like so much fun, Josh. How was it?
It was really good. A lot of people, in the crowd. It was interesting how many human connections you can make, because it's 5 miles of families, maybe 5 or 6 people deep or more. There's multiple stadiums set up of people all throughout the city. And so, you're walking along and you're saying, Happy New Year and saying hello to everybody, and you're waving. And it's just funny when you see somebody in the crowd and they're kind of in the background, and you get them more excited because they see you seeing them. And how many people were like, oh, those glasses, I want those glasses. The glasses are cool glasses. So, it does have that immediate kind of mimetic connection when people see these things. So it was pretty cool to see that in person.
Plus, I got like 10 DMs today saying Joshua Fisher said to DM and that Nouns would fund my idea. So I assume that was from you.
Yeah, I gave everyone in the crowd free idea support, and so we'll see what starts coming from that.
Free idea support. I was like, did you tell them to try turning it off again and back on again? That's a good
Exactly.
idea. Yeah, you know. All right. Well, any other announcements, Joshua Fisher? If I move along to close the show here, are you going to put your hand up again?
No, I'm good as long as you shouted out all those really fun shoebox floats.
Yeah, we did, man. We shouted them out. People can check them out in that thread. Thank you to all the people who did participate. And I said we'd have a winner in a couple days, right?
That's correct.
Amazing. Awesome. Thanks again, Sir Action Slacks, for joining us. You're welcome back here anytime, by the way. Just swing by. We're here every single day. Also, Brennan and Sasquatch host a really fun soapbox space on Mondays at 4:30 p.m. EST, and I'm sure they'd love to have you on as a guest anytime to chat Dota and esports over there. So we'd love to have you there as well sometime.
Thank you so much. And guys, I just want to say, if the prop passes or it doesn't, I have had just the most awesome time with your guys' community over the last 4 months. Talking over at the jungle, at the Nounsel, learning about everything that you guys do. So it has been truly an honor. And I just want to thank you guys for welcoming me in with open arms and, having a great time with me over the last 4 months. So thank you guys so much. I'm super excited to see how this one turns out. And I'll be around no matter what happens.
Awesome. And just one last housekeeping item. It seems that I'm seeing some messages pop up about people having issues with the Pro app again. We've been having a weird error pop up about too few mints available, even though they should have been available. So anyway, we're going to go back to Pro app and see if we can hopefully figure that out. In the meantime, RFG, can you take some screenshots here again?
Already on it.
Or Ryan Mack, and we'll try to get this sorted out. Maybe might have to send out some links if you weren't able to grab it today.
Yeah, Tony, we'll
figure it out.
I already spoke to PoApp. They're checking it out on the back end.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming. See you back here tomorrow night. Same bad time, same bad channel. Put your knuckles on, it's time to celebrate. We got them good vibes, it's time to demonstrate. Everybody clap your hands, 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 oh my God! Put your knuckles on, it's time to celebrate. We got them good vibes, it's time to elevate. Put your knuckles on, it's time to celebrate. We got them good vibes, it's time to demonstrate. Ugly, you're disgusting.